What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to a new review. For today I have the latest smartwatch from Amazfit, and some websites call this the Amazfit Pace 2, some websites even call it the Amazfit Smartwatch 2, but in reality this is called the Amazfit Stratos and it costs somewhere around $200. For now there is only one version available, and that's the Chinese version that I have right here. So the entire watch is in Chinese, but luckily the app that works with the watch is in English, so it makes it much easier to use it. If you've seen the original Amazfit Pace, well, this looks like the grown-up, more manly version of that, because the Amazfit Pace used to look more like a fitness tracker and this one looks more like a watch. The watch is mostly made out of plastic, but it has a very cool looking carbon fiber finish, and that makes it look much more classy and much more premium. We also have three large metallic buttons on the right hand side, and once again that makes it look more like a watch versus the Amazfit Pace that used to look more like a fitness tracker. The straps are made out of some type of soft rubber that feels great to touch, and they're also removable and replaceable, so you can easily take them off and put other straps on if you don't like these ones. And moving to the back of the watch, there we have the heart rate monitor, and we also have the connectors for the charger. And this watch is also water resistant up to 50 meters. That charger attaches to the back of the watch and it takes about an hour to fully charge the watch from 0 to 100, and you can also use the charger to connect the watch to your computer. So if you are planning to transfer data in between the computer and the watch, you can use the charger for that. And moving to the front of the watch, which is the most important part of the watch, there we have a ceramic bezel surrounding the 1.34 inches transflective display. Now, this screen is a bit different than all the other screens that we usually see for smartwatches. So this is a transflective display that can reflect and transmit light without using any power, and that makes the watch a bit more special. So the more light you have hitting the screen, the better you can see the screen. So for example, if you go outside and it's super sunny outside, well, you can see the screen very well without using any power, and that's why this watch is so special. On the other hand, if you are inside and it's not that bright, well, you're not going to be able to see the screen that well. However, there is a backlight available as well, and you can actually set the brightness for the backlight. So let's say you go inside and all the lights are turned off. Well, normally you're not going to see the screen, but when you turn the hand towards yourself, the backlight will come on, and this way you can see the screen as well. There are 5 levels of brightness, or you can just set auto brightness, and I guess auto brightness is going to be better because it's going to try saving the battery. And since we are talking about the battery, well, inside this watch we have a 280 mAh battery, and I know that doesn't sound like much, but you can actually go for between 3 and 5 days on one charge. Of course, it depends how you use the watch, how many notifications you get, how much you use the GPS, because we have a GPS unit inside this watch for sporting activities. It depends if you keep the heart rate monitoring on at all times and so on. But me personally, I was able to get about 2.5 days on one charge, and out of that I used the GPS for about an hour, and I had the heart rate monitoring set to on at all times. So aside from being able to monitor your heart rate throughout the day, so 24/7, but as I said, you can turn that on or off, the watch will measure how many steps you do throughout the day, how many floors you climb, the distance that you've done, the calories that you've burnt, and it will also track your sleep. So when you wake up in the morning, you can see how long you slept and how much of that was deep sleep and how much was light sleep, and that's important if you want to figure out why you're tired when you wake up in the morning like me. Another important feature for this watch is the ability to store music. So we have 4 gigs of internal storage, and you can store music on that 4 gigs. We can also connect Bluetooth headphones to the watch, and that makes it much nicer to go for a walk and just have the headphones and the watch, and this way you don't have to carry the phone with you. You can upload music on the watch from your smartphone through the app or by connecting the watch to the computer, but me, I just did it through the app because it's so much easier. And by now you're probably wondering, how did I manage to use the watch if it's all in Chinese? Well, first of all, I used the Amazfit Pace for about 6 months, and the menus are very similar, so I kind of knew where everything was. Secondly, you can do a whole bunch of stuff right from the app, so the app is entirely in English and you can check stats right from the app, so you don't actually have to look at the watch. And the stuff that I didn't understand, I just used Google Translator, and I basically looked at the watch through the phone. So the app, well, first of all, the app allows you to manage all the notifications, so the watch can receive notifications from your phone. So if you get a text message, the text message will show up on the watch. If you get a WhatsApp message, the message will again show up on your watch. If you get Twitter notifications, they will also show up, but you cannot reply to notifications from the watch, so you can only see them. It's the same with phone calls, emails, or basically any notification that you get on your smartphone. And you can actually turn on or off notifications for certain apps. And you can even set the watch to receive notifications only when the phone screen is off. So if you're already looking at the screen, there is no point in getting that notification on the watch as well. So you can turn that off as well. From the app, you can also change watch faces, and there are some watch faces available, and I'm sure that we will get more in the future. And if you don't want to change them from the phone, you can change them directly from the watch, and it takes like a second to change in between them. The app will also track all the steps that you do throughout the day, how many calories you've burned, how many floors you climbed, and it's also gonna show you a breakdown of all your activities. So let's say that you walked for like 10 minutes in between 12 and 12:30, and you can check all that right from the app. And it's about the same for the heart rate monitoring. And as I said earlier, I had my watch set to track my heart rate throughout the day, so 24/7, so you can see all that right from the app. And now we're getting to some of the most important features for this watch. So the GPS assisted sport tracking activities. So with this watch, it's much easier to track your activities or to start tracking your activities compared to the Amazfit Pace. So you have that big button in the center. So you basically press that button once and you can just start a sporting activity. So like walking, cycling, running, swimming, and so on. When you start one of those activities, you're gonna have to wait for a few seconds till the watch finds your location, but it doesn't take that long. It only takes about 10 to 20 seconds, so it's fairly quick. And once the GPS or the location is found, then you can start that particular activity. The watch will track how many steps you've done, the elapsed time, the distance that you've done, the heart rate, the calories, pace, average pace, the speed, and the average speed. And you can actually customize all that information right from the app. So you go into each sporting activity. So for example, running, and you can choose what the watch should display. Of course, each sporting activity is different. Therefore, all the activities will display something different. So it really depends what you're into. But me personally, I just walk to the watch because it's cold outside. I don't usually run, and I don't bike because there is too much snow. But for each individual activity, you basically go into the app and you change what the watch should display. And at the end of each activity, you can see the map because, as I said, we have GPS, so that will track wherever you go. You can also see the mileage that you've done, the speed, the heart rate, and you can even check out some graphs. And if you're an athlete, that's definitely useful. My sporting activities aren't that exciting, mostly now in the winter because it's minus 20 degrees. I only go for walks, and the walks are kind of short because it's too cold. I don't exactly run because there is too much snow on the ground. I don't bike and so on. But if you're an athlete and if you're into running or swimming or anything like that, a watch like this would be very useful. And it's time to conclude this video. So I love the Amazfit Pace, but now I love this one even more, but mostly because of the shape, because now it looks more like a watch versus a fitness tracker as it used to look before. Now, for me personally, because I'm not an athlete, the functionality is kind of the same. It still has GPS and it can track my walks because I don't really do much. But if you're an athlete, this has way more functionality compared to the Amazfit Pace. As for the price, it may seem expensive, but the watch is actually cheaper than anything else from other companies that do the exact same thing. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in 2 weeks because I'm going on vacation tomorrow. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you whenever I'll see you.